are back. And this year it is 2025, which is absolutely crazy. It's the third day of 2025. Have you crushed all your goals, Jamie, and just checked all the boxes?
Not at all. I find it so weird that it's 2025. We were just talking about how the last couple of weeks just feel so weird. You don't know what day it is. You don't know what time of the day it is. And then suddenly it's 2025 and you're like, bloody hell, 2024 is over. I was only getting started. So it's great to be back. This is our first BBD of 2025. So bring it on. This is going to be a big year, hopefully.
It is. It's going to be the best year. Andrea Coughtry with Coughtry Enterprises, co-host of the BBD podcast.
Yeah, Jamie McAnally here from autoenhance.ai. So today we're going to, seeing as it's the start of the year, we're going to get into setting goals. Everyone is doing their New Year's resolutions. You're just seeing everyone going to the gym these last couple of days. The gyms are packed. Getting food is a pain as well. We were just saying about this. I was at the supermarket yesterday, just come back to London, and there's no vegetables, there's no Greek yogurt, like all the usual things that I'm going for is all disappeared because people think that they're going to get healthy on these things. So now I've got to wait at least a week or two for people to give up, and then I can get my veg and Greek yogurt again.
Yeah. And for the prices to go down, like one red bell pepper organic that I've been eating for 90 plus days was like almost $3 for one bell pepper in Kentucky. Like, this is crazy. A bell pepper there has to be like $12 organic. It's insane right now. And the gym that I go to since 2018, there's these crazy benches that no one uses. They're good for like 2 exercises, and never have they ever been gone. And this week, both of them are in use, like the whole session. I really thought I was going to just give up, but that's the thing about a new year. Everyone's new year, new me. I've always been a big believer, new day, new you. And I think I carry that throughout the year. Whatever needs to change or be, I don't wait. I'm not like, you know what? I really want to work on this for my business next month, next week, next year. I'm like, this needs to happen now. Let's figure it out. But for those of you who love a fresh start, who feel like the new year is great, I do think in business and financial sense, it is. Because if you didn't hit your goals, because you're running normally on quarterly, monthly, annual goals. Well, this is the start of the new annual stretch for most people's fiscal year. So that's why I do think it's important as business owners to really reevaluate what did work. So for tax purposes, for business purposes, this is a totally fresh start.
Yeah, but I feel I'm a big fan of goals. I love setting goals. I've been setting goals for years now, and I'm quite meticulous with setting goals. I've always done it with businesses. I've always, set out quarterly goals. I don't really do annual goals, only like big numbers, but I love setting quarterly goals, recapping them and working on them. And then I think it was about 2 years ago or so, I thought, why am I not doing this personally as well? Like, why am I not taking this understanding of how I'm setting goals for business and using that for personal development, personal growth? And so, for the last
like
2
health
years,
and wellness, relationships, like
hobbies, fitness, financial, like the whole lot of it. Like, I like to be very strategic with my goals, be very accountable, and then also just checking at the end of the year and being like, have I actually achieved this? What would I do differently? I think it's really important. And the other thing that I am not a big fan of is massive stretch goals as well. Because like when I started out, I'd set these like ridiculous goals of like where I wanted the business to be. And every time you don't hit it, right, you certainly pushes you towards getting closer, but you don't feel that sense of achievement when you actually hit it. Whereas actually these kind of incremental development goals have helped massively, because once you get that flywheel going, once you get the momentum going, then it's unstoppable. Because, an example for this, talking about a goal that's not business, is when I started running, I was like, what's a good goal for running? Like, I barely ran before, I did a bit of rugby, did a bit of running at the gym or whatever. So I was like, where do I even start setting a goal for running? So I looked online and people were like, oh, average at your age, you should be able to do a 5K in 30 minutes. So for American standards, that's, what is it? It's like 3 miles, something like that. 3 miles in 30 minutes, something like that. And when I started running, that was incredibly hard. Like I couldn't last that long, couldn't go that distance. But actually, by February, I was under 30 minutes for the 5K.
Nice.
So I'm already 2 months into that year and I've hit my goal. I've already ticked one thing off the list. And that sense of achievement then sends you into, okay, now that I've done 30 minutes, why don't we drop it down to 25 minutes?
Remind me, what was your DISC assessment again? Because I think that also plays into it a little. And if you all did not have the opportunity to listen to the last podcast we did, we went through our personal DISC assessments, talked about how you can use that in your life, not just in business, but in your life, like what Jamie's saying. I mean, I think that's valuable. I'm high D. What were you again? You're high S, was it?
I'm a D42. That's like mid D. And then I'm a high I. I'm an 81 I. Okay. And then a 39S and a 77C, but 28 on the other side, whatever that was.
Okay. So I'm a 99D and an 81I. So our eyes are the same. So
you wake up every morning and you're like, I'm going to do this, and you do it.
Most of the time, but I have this weird thing, like attainable goals are like, okay, yeah, but I should have already been able to do that. So like the hard thing with the D is what you're saying. If you go online and it says, oh, the average person should be able to do X in X amount of time, and I can't, it's like a total you're like, you suck at life.
Kills you.
And then, and then once I'm able to do it, be like, great, pat on the back. You should have been able to do that already. So it's almost like, but I'm not stretched like you're saying so far out that it's not attainable in a quarter, a month, or a year. If I'm setting a stretch goal for a year, maybe I want to sell 25 million. So my realistic goal might be, 19 to 20, and my stretch goal is 25. I'm not setting like extreme stretch goals, but I think I have to have, if I'm seeing everyone else can and is supposed to do this and I can't, it can be self-defeating and almost like, well, I'm so far off, why do you even bother? So I don't know, but I think it's just a difference in personalities, and that's what we promised we would help people with, is using that DISC assessment. And it's linked on our last episode. If you didn't watch the last episode, go back and watch it, because it's going to kind of gear up for how you can use that in order to actually set goals that work for you specifically, and using our good little AI ChatGPT friend to make this so easy that what you could spend a whole week, a whole month, a whole year writing out how to do and researching, we're going to show you how to do it in a few seconds.
This is going to be super fast. And just for reference, it's episode 11, if anyone is looking for that DISC episode, because I am sure there's going to be some episodes in between that are coming out. But episode 11 is the one you're looking for.
Okay.
So yeah, that was really fascinating, just learning more about yourself, how your personality traits differ. And yeah, I think what we really want to dive into first before we utilize ChatGPT is, how do you set a good goal, right? It's so easy to set a goal where, I don't know, I want to do more running. I want to go to the gym. What are some other? I've just been asking a bunch of people what their New Year's resolutions are, because I find it fascinating, and it's very obscure. I want to read more books. I want to work less. And it's like, it triggers me because I have set goals like that in the past. And it's so hard to know if you've actually hit that goal, right? You could say, I want to run more, and you go out running this weekend. Oh, you ran more than you did last year. So you've already completed your goal, right? But do you really feel that satisfaction if you just went out once? That's not really your intention from the goal. So I think it's really important that you create a goal that is measurable. And yeah, maybe we should start by saying what our New Year's resolutions are. Have you got New Year's resolutions?
I'm going to tell you my favorite quote surrounding this whole thing. And I don't really watch cartoons at all. So I don't know why this like hit me, because I don't even really know that I know the whole Alice in Wonderland movie. I mean, I know the premise, all that, but in the movie, it's the little rabbit running around and she's so freaked out and worried about where to go, which way to go. And he says to her, if you don't know where you're going, it doesn't matter which way you go, because she's lost. She doesn't even know where she's going. And I think I relate that so much to life. Like, you know, and Brendan and I talk about this a lot, you know, okay, well, if the Bitcoin sells for this, what would you do then? If the company sells for this, what would you do then? Like, we love those kind of like best case, base case, worst case. Yeah. And it's like, what are you building this for? What is the goal? And a lot of times business owners and entrepreneurs are just don't even know. It's like they've got these ideas and thoughts, but like, what's the real end game? Are you selling? Are you acquiring? Are you know, what are you even doing? So that's why I love that quote, because I tell my staff that, I tell my investors that. It's like, where are you going? Where do you need to get to? And let's be very strategic with it.
Okay. So how has that helped your... Does that mean you don't have a New Year's resolution? Was that a long-winded way of saying that you don't have a New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution, I don't really set New Year's resolution. Well, okay, I have business goals. Like I have, you know, my stretch goal is to sell 25. My base goal is 19. We're doing a total of 40 as a team. And my goal is to help my agents meet their goals. So that's one. So I've got, you know, KPIs and goals and you know, one-on-one schedule with them to help push. And then we've got tactics based on them setting their goals. But as far as like, you know, I'm already in this program. So I've been focused on my health, wellness, nutrition already. So I'm continuing that business. I'm continuing to try to structure it to where it can operate without me being in the office for 12 hours a day. So I'm continuing what I was already doing. Nothing changed there. I'm just continuing to like go towards those goals. But you obviously have one. So what's yours?
Okay, well, this is great, right? Because maybe at the end of this episode, you'll have a New Year's resolution.
Okay,
that will be our goal from today's episode. So I have 4 goals. So because I like to have a goal.
You love a goal.
I love a goal. I it's so sad. I like to have a goal that is a fitness-based goal, a hobby-based goal, and a business-based goal.
Okay.
So I have 3 criteria and I have 4 goals. So you'll see why. So my first goal is to do a sub 90-minute Hyrox. So if you're new to these episodes, there's certainly references in previous episodes, but I take part in this thing called Hyrox, which is for people who insane
people.
Yeah, just want to kill themselves and do something
that, like self-flagellation. Like that's what it looks like to me.
It's a sadistic ritual by many people that go to the gym. That is what the Hyrox is. So I've already done 2 of these. My goal when I did the first one in 2020,
which was in
Spain, Barcelona.
The first one was in
that was in Barcelona. My goal was sub 90 minutes because I had seen online and it was like 90 minutes is a good goal. And I did it in 96 minutes. So I was like, okay, 2024, my goal is to do a sub 90-minute Hyrox. I go to Italy, I go to Rimini, I do it in 105 minutes. I had 15 minutes of penalties. It was an awful situation. You can hear all about it in episode, 8, something like that.
It was rigged. It was a bad judge.
Yeah, it was definitely nothing to do with me. And so this year, the goal is sub 90-minute Hyrox. I'm signed up. I'm going in March. It's in like 9 or 10 weeks. It's in Glasgow. So my home turf, Scottish blood, half Scottish blood. I've got my Scottish family that are going to be there. I'm doing it for charity as well. So there's extra layers of pressure. Pressure makes diamond. So I'm ready for it.
You're a diamond.
I need to raise some money, so I need to think of a good strategy to raise money. I think I might dye my hair green or something like that.
Yeah.
To raise this money because.
But what are you raising the money for?
It's a charity called Macmillan, that do like cancer research. So it's something I'll put a post out there, raise some money for that. That's my first goal. That's my fitness goal. So I might hit my first goal by March.
Okay.
Right? That's a great way to start the year. There's already endorphins coming from that. And it's a goal I've been trying to achieve for 3 years. So even though I'm hitting it in 3 months, this is a 3-year commitment to try and get this bloody thing done. And my next one is a business goal. And my goal for Auto Enhance is to double revenue this year. So we managed to achieve that last year. So we doubled our revenue from 2023 to 2024. I want to do it again for 2025. I personally think we'll do more than double. But if we do double and at the end of the year I've hit that goal, I'm going to be very happy with hitting that. So that one kind of breaks my rules, right? Because what are you doing that's going to double your revenue, right? I can't just make my customers pay more money. There's certainly ways of doing it. It's actually an outcome of doing more sales and improving the product. So that one kind of breaks my rules, but that's a goal I want to hit this year. My next one is to read 12 books. So I like reading books. I read a lot of non-fiction books, a lot of business books, a lot of biographies. I like stories. I've read a bit of fiction, but I find it hard to get into. But what I find really hard is to be committed. So making sure that I'm reading every day and making it consistent. So by saying 12 books in this year, some people look at that and go, oh, okay, it's a book a month. But what I'm seeing it probably being is for the first 6 months, I'll probably read like 3 books. And then I'll realize I've got 6 months to read 9 books.
So wait, does this have to be physically reading, or is this Audible? Does Audible count?
No Audible.
Or is this
reading
physically? Okay.
On my Kindle, whatever. But yeah, by saying 12 books, it's not putting pressure on me to be like, I need to read a book a month. Because I might get to June and realize I've only read a few books. But then it means I need to hurry up and read for the rest of the year. Or I might get to December and I've read 1 book and then I need to read 11 in December.
I would need to be this. So for me, it would be if I want to read 12 books, I would have to read X amount of chapters by the mid of every single month, at least 1 book a month. That way, by month 2, if I get behind, I would be like, I have to finish this and finish this. Like for me, I need like very specific. Like if I said, I would turn around, it's December. I'm like, I'm gonna have to read a book a day. Like, I like and I think it's just by habit of how I run my business, because I have, the bi-weekly meetings once in a while with the agents, but I have absolute mandatory monthly meetings. So where are you on track for Q1? If you're off track Q1, we need to know as soon as possible to pick up in Q2. When it comes with sales, I think it's just not possible to turn around and Q4 comes and you're nowhere near your goal. You're out of luck, my friend. Like, so I think my mentality is so bi-weekly. We're going over it once a week, every Monday. We're having our bi-weekly check-ins. Once a month, your mandatory one-on-one, where we're really tracking. And then you've got every 3 months, that big quarterly. And we're just continuing to see where you're at. And the moment you near your goal, it goes up. So that's kind of how I do that. But should we jump into you telling us a little, do you want to tell people how to set good goals? Because it seems like you're a goal setter. I can give you very tactical, business ways. I set my personal goals so often. I feel like I never really have had like a big, this year I'm going to do this personally. I try to do that every time I realize I'm off track. Like normally I realize that when I'm laying down trying to sleep and I'm like, yeah, that's really off track in your personal life. You need to work on that starting tomorrow. Make a plan.
I feel like my approach is it's kind of just, I can go on autopilot a little bit because I've kind of set these goals and I'm just following it, and it's just following that day-to-day pattern. There's certainly nights where I'm like kept up at night thinking about goals and tactics and whatever. But because I've kind of got this, I've got the momentum going, it really helps. And to wrap things off on my goals, the 4th one.
Okay, the 4th one. I forgot about the 4th one.
Is to set a new goal by mid-2025. right? That's an easy goal.
Okay.
I saw this on someone's Instagram the other day, so I nicked it, and I thought that's a great one, because it's not hard to set a new goal by mid 2025. So it's very easy to do, but what that goal is that's the momentum for the second half of the year.
Okay.
So that's how I'm setting things up. But yeah,
so
setting a good
90
goal.
Hyrox, 12 books a year, set a new goal mid-year, and then double the revenue. Okay.
Bingo. You got it.
I love it.
So yeah, my guide for setting a good goal, and it might be complete horseshit, so take it as you will, but it's working for me. It's working for me. So yeah, that first one is having a measurable outcome, right? Because it's great to feel the endorphins of actually hitting the goal, and it gives you the momentum to do other things. So that 30-minute 5K, reading those 12 books, right? If I just do 1 out of 12, I get to tick 1 out of 12 on the list. And that's the momentum that's going to get me to read the next book and the next book. So it just kind of gets the momentum going. And like Sarah, my girlfriend, she wanted to start reading. And I was like, you need to start somewhere. Don't start by reading a book a month. Start by a page a night. And then do that for a couple of weeks. Then do 2 pages a night. Then 3 pages a night. And then soon enough, you're reading a chapter a night. And it was easy. Like, you didn't even realize it. So I think it's making sure that these goals are firstly measurable, secondly something that is achievable, right?
Trackable, yeah.
Trackable but achievable, because if I go, okay, my goal is I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. every morning for the next year. Like, that just isn't achievable for me. My life is hectic. There's so much going on. But so many people do this. They go, yeah, I'm going to start running tomorrow and I'm going to run 10K, 30K when you've never run before. And it's just like jumping in the deep end. You're going to hate it. I've got a thumbs up. You're going to have a horrible time. It's not going to get easier for a long time. And I think a lot of people don't realize it. Like, how can I break it down to a really small step and then build it up to where it needs to be?
But the bigger problem I see with that is people base their goals on perceived expectations that other people, because even, we love Brian Johnson. Well, everything you see is Brian Johnson's clip about how he wakes up every morning at 4:30 in the morning. Well, time out. If you actually watch enough of his videos, you will see plenty of videos where his assistant is waking him up at like 10:30. The latest one I saw, they go and he's like dead asleep. It's 10:30. He claims it was because he had been traveling. But at the end of the day, guys, we've talked about this with Ryan Serhant, all these people. Like, when they give you a snapshot, they are giving you the snapshot of their goal, their perfect day. You do not hit a perfect day every day. And that's where people fail. So you forgot to run one day. Well, you know what, Jamie? Might as well not run the second day. Might as well just give up on the goal. Might as well just throw the running shoes away. Which is
the momentum.
Insane. Because I think long-term success is more about what you do when you fail and when you get knocked down than what it is about what you do that's perfect. It's not ever going to be perfect. You are going to start running, you're going to kick ass, and you are going to twist your ankle and you can't run for a month. So when you're able, are you walking until you're able to run again? Or do you just let go of it altogether? You're on a meal plan. You forgot to pack your lunch, something happened, the crock pot burns your chicken, so you totally give up. There's no pivoting, there's no working around it. But I think that is the goal killer. The goal killer is people think it's perfection. It is not. It is what you do after you mess up. And this is the perfect time to analyze that. If you look at the holidays are really, really tough for everyone. You and I were talking about what day is it? Where are we at? Because no one's got a normal work schedule. Everyone's work schedules are different. Everyone is doing different things. You're getting together with more people. Everything's off. So if you are a very regiment person, that week can turn into 2 to 3 months. Next thing you know, it's Q2, and the first 3 quarters of the year totally threw you off. For example, last week, there was no one in the office. The week before that, rarely anyone in the office. For about a month now, not my team, but for about, well, even my team has come in and out, but like my staff, my admin, we're here. We had like Christmas Day off. We had the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the 1st. That was it. We had 3 days off. That was it. And we were here working. But the rest of this office has been a ghost town for at least a month. So now you guys, all right, yesterday the office is packed. It's like, where you guys been? But hey, what is my saying that I said to you earlier? Better late than never, but never late is better. Oh. Yeah, I do like that other one too. Yeah.
Say that one again. We'll see again.
Better late than never, but never late is better. That one just is like such a tongue twister.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this is totally right. I think a lot of people, and I've just realized one of my goals also breaks my rule. Whatever.
Are we adding a 5th goal now?
No. Okay. But what we're trying to define is, what are those points? So something that's measurable, so you can kind of keep accountable, something that you can break down, like how easy can you make it as well? And I think the flexibility to it as well. So I think 2 years ago, one of my goals was to learn Chinese. But if my goal was just to learn Chinese, then how do you define that? Like, how have I hit my goal? So instead, I was like, I'm going to do at least a class a week of Chinese, right? So that is something measurable. I know that I can do it once a week. And I actually ended up doing it twice a week. So my goal at the end of the year was to do 52 hours of learning Chinese. I ended up doing about 100 hours. So I didn't just hit my goal, I smashed it. And as a net effect of just the consistency and commitment of doing 52 hours in the year, I was able to have some form of conversational Chinese. So my goal wasn't learn Chinese, it was have a lesson a week for a year. And that was a lot easier. And there were some weeks when I was away, but because I actually made up for it in other times, I still ended up doing about 100 hours in the whole year. So it's kind of finding those angles where you can set a goal, tick it off every week, every month, whatever, and just feel the endorphins, feel the progress. I think that's the main thing that we're trying to get into. So we're going to use a bit of AI to help us out, right? What's your idea around this?
So you're the tech master. So I thought maybe you could give us, listen, I'm getting time. You get like 1 minute in very layman terms to tell our BBD friends, what is ChatGPT?
Okay, if you've been living under a rock and you have no idea what ChatGPT is, I've already lost 30 seconds. It's incredible. Okay, we're going to take this down to simplistic terms. At its core, it's a very smart system that is trying to predict the next word in a sequence. So a brown cat jumped over a fence. So each word, it's using the previous words to predict the next words, right? In a very small form, it's very dumb. But when you blow it up to the size that OpenAI have and train it on the incredible amount of data that they've trained it on, you can now ask it questions and it uses that context to respond to the question like a human. And it's built up an incredible knowledge base on the world of data. It can explain quantum physics. It can, write a book for you about potatoes and tell you things that you just never knew about from its incredible knowledge. And it's all to do with just predicting the next word in the sequence. But using that technology has created something amazing that we can use for solving problems, bouncing ideas off, creating new content. So it's incredibly powerful piece of technology that is only getting better over time.
100%.
Did that explain it?
It did. And it's so useful in so many ways. So we're going to get very specific based on episode 11. So in episode 11, we give you guys the specific disc assessment that I'm going to talk about today. And I'm going to tell you step 1 is once you log into ChatGPT, giraffe, Penguin Tango GPT, then what you can do is actually, when you're in ChatGPT, at the bottom of the little text message ChatGPT, you've got the little attachment paperclip. So you can upload that disc assessment, that free disc assessment that we gave you all. So now it has your disc assessment. You can also ask it to save it. So if you have created your own GPT, like I have a Culture Enterprise GPT assistant that is trained in everything Culture Enterprises, well, when I upload that, I can say to it, please keep reference to this disc assessment as you help me set goals and work on my business for the rest of the year. So, for example, I just uploaded it fresh just to kind of be able to walk you through that. So it says, it looks like you've uploaded your disc behavioral assessment report. Let me know how I can assist. If you'd like help analyzing specific sections, applying the insights to your work, or creating strategies based on the results, feel free to share your goals. Isn't that exactly what we're talking about doing right now?
That's it. That's brilliant. It knows.
Insane. It's something easy you could do for this. Let's say, because I'm in real estate, I'll give you a very specific one. So what you would type in is, based on the disc behavioral assessment report I've just uploaded, can you help me outline strategies to close $20 million in real estate sales in the state of Kentucky, specifically Lexington, Kentucky, and surrounding areas. So now it has this entire disc assessment. If you remember the disc assessment, if you haven't taken it, you will, but some of the sections are very specific. So I'm just scrolling through some of these. Example is going to be page 7. So page 7 takes my specific score and it highlights some of my traits to my unique natural and adaptive score. So it's saying things like, the more difficult the challenge, the more motivated you seem to become. Well, ChatGPT now knows that. And if my goal is 20, it's going to push probably really heavy, really strategically in the beginning part of the year. You can also ask it, based on my past 3 year seasonality, I've sold the most in these 3 months. I've sold the most in these zip codes. So we're taking our past data, feeding all of it to this algorithm, like Jamie said, completing the next sequence. Get strategic with it. The more specific you are, the better it can help you. So by saying, last 3 years, I sold the most homes in these 4 months. Last 3 years, I sold the most in these specific zip codes. It can help you with farming those neighborhoods, help you pick out your target market in those neighborhoods. Something else, you love a good challenge, seek freedom, and look for a lot of variety. So that's going to tell GPT, we need to be switching it up. It's not going to fulfill someone with that natural and adaptive style to be locked in the same routine for all year. You're going to get complacent. You're going to get bored. You're going to want to shake it up. So it can even be something as simple as, hey, based on my disc assessment, help me set a workout regimen, knowing that based on my family lifestyle, I'm normally in bed by around 10:30 or 11 p.m. So now it has to take into consideration real sleep patterns, your real habits. I have an addiction to caffeine. I have an addiction to sweets. Feed it specific things and tell it what your goals are. I want to work with double the amount of sellers that I've ever worked with as part of my goals. The last 3 years, I've helped X amount of sellers. I want to close double the amount of buyers. The last year, 2 years, 3 years, I've worked with X amount of buyers. Last year, my goal was to sell 27 million and I only sold 19. This year, to support my family, I really need to be able to sell 22 million. And it can help you. It will literally spit out an entire set of goals and strategic procedures to help you meet those goals. And then you customize it.
Yeah, I really like the way that you're utilizing ChatGPT, because so behind the scenes, what they're using is these things called large language models, which are these predictive word sequence tools. But if you just ask it something like, set me some goals in Kentucky, I'm a real estate agent, very basic information without the disc assessment, it's got to use this huge pool of knowledge. We're talking about, nearly all the information that's on the data on the internet that it can access. It's got to
the good, the bad, the fake, the real.
Yeah, it's got to regurgitate all of that and use that for your prompts. Whereas the more context that you add to it, the better the response you're going to get back. And you can see this, like if you're trying to use ChatGPT to write an Instagram post or a LinkedIn post or a blog, if you just say, I'm writing a post about X, write me a LinkedIn post, it will create something, but it won't have the tone of voice of you. Like you're giving it very little information. Whereas if you go, here are some bullet points, here's some information about me, here's what I want to get across in my post, write me a post about that, you suddenly get a much richer post in the format, in the context that you want, because you're providing more information. So I thought it'd be quite interesting. I've given ChatGPT my goals for this year, the sub 90 Hyrox, the read 12 books. I've also uploaded my DISC assessment, and I've said, perfect. These are my goals for 2025. Using my DISC assessment, how can I achieve them? And it's gone through. So I'm a high I, I'm a mid D, high I, mid S, low weird C, like a high C on one side and a low C on the other side. So
which one are you higher in, natural or adaptive?
Natural, and then adaptive, I'm low. I think we worked this out. I'm a perfectionist at heart, but I don't want people knowing it. That's the approach. And what it said is my sub 90-minute Hyrox, it says your strengths being a high I, use your optimism and enthusiasm to stay motivated during training. Join a supportive training community or team to keep the process enjoyable, which is exactly what I have.
Which you do, yeah.
Exactly. Challenges, high C. You may overanalyze your training plan, balance structure and adaptability. That is bingo. I am oversetting my goals sometimes. And it's given me an action plan. Set clear milestones, focus on consistency, leverage public accountability by sharing progress with others. Pretty interesting. Read 12 books. Your curiosity and love of engaging with new ideas makes this goal appealing. At low S, you may struggle with consistency. Yep.
Which you've already told us. You're like, I might read 12 in December, where I'm like, I need to read one a month. Every 2 weeks, I need to have read half of the book. Like,
yeah. So it's suggesting break your goal into manageable chunks, one book per month. So, maybe that is a good way of doing it. And then number 3, double auto enhances revenue. Strengths, I'm a high I and a high C. Your people-oriented approach can build strong client relationships, while your systematic nature helps with refining business processes. My challenges, over-enthusiasm might lead to overselling, and a high need for control might slow decision-making. Interesting. Action plan, use your networking skills. Which isn't interesting
because we've talked about that before, how you've had these killer team players who you wouldn't let go of. And then when you either by force or by whatever did, and you were like, wow, they did really good and they surpassed the goal.
Yeah, you certainly feel it. So my action plan from ChatGPT is use your networking skills to connect with high-value prospects, delegate routine tasks to focus on strategic growth initiatives, regularly analyze performance metrics to ensure alignment with your revenue targets. I think these are all super helpful.
Yeah.
It's so insightful.
What I've done with my agents is as we go through and we build this for them is we now set real goals. So I know what months they sell the most, what months they sell the least. So when I watch them do things, it's like, hey, you didn't sell a house that month last year. You probably aren't going to sell 5 this year. So I pull them in reality, but also push them to meet their goals. And I try to do the same thing with mine. And my business goals are very clear. I always have a dollar amount, and then I break that into what is each agent's and feed this into ChatGPT. My average price point sold last year was X. My average price point sold the previous year, 2023, was X. I sell the most homes these months out of the year. I sell the most home in these specific zip codes. Be very specific to your stats because like Jamie said, otherwise it's just pulling data. I can't sell the production they sell in New York. It isn't possible. It isn't realistic for me to sit and beat myself down when people are listing $23 million penthouses. It takes me almost a year to produce that. No matter how hard I work, I could work 15 hours a day every single day and totally burn out. Those types of properties don't exist at a high enough level in Lexington, Kentucky for me to have that goal, right? So I have to set attainable, real goals for me and my lifestyle. Also, I have agents on my team who don't want to make that much. I mean, they have a really good goal, but they've said to me before, Andrea, I don't want to sell that much. And I had to take a step back and look at myself as a business owner and say, I've got these amazing people on the team who I'm pushing too hard, too far, when some of them want that and some of them don't. So I think there is room in any business for different levels of people. Some people live to work, like you and I, and some people work to live, and that's okay. That's okay.
But you can use that DISC assessment to help guide their goals as well within the team. So that's why exactly I think this is adding context. That is the superpower that you need within ChatGPT to make it an amazing tool. And I use it anywhere I can. Over the holidays, I got bored and I built a tool that scraped Reddit threads and started to analyze trends within Reddit threads. So I went into real estate photography, which is the market we're in, scraped data from there, analyze the data, see what trends are happening. Like, I don't want to sit there and read months of posts and comments from everyone. Give me that high overview of what's happening, and then I can dive into that and learn more from it. And it can just crunch through that data and just give you the information that you need. We use it for analyzing feedback we get from customers on our images. What are the trends we're seeing? What are the things that we're seeing as consistent areas we need to improve on? So this is a powerful tool, and you just need to find the ways to leverage it within your business, whether it is setting goals, whether it is automating parts of your business that used to take ages. It's a fascinating tool. How much would you say you use ChatGPT on a weekly basis?
I use it every single day, a minimum of 2 to 3 times a day. And I love giving real world examples. So for example, one of my admin, John, he's new to real estate. He's new to the company. He's new to real estate. So I'm like, if I'm telling you to send someone an email, just have ChatGPT pulled up and say, my boss is asking me to help write an email, blah, 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 blah. Throw the pinpoints in of what I'm asking in that email. Can you help me write this in a professional yet friendly manner? It's done for him. When I stop telling him what to do, it is done for him. Then he can read it and it's done. And it looks good and it sounds great and it helps him learn and understand. Like, I think a lot of times in training, people take you as the first line of resource. You and I have talked about this, like how different it was for you when you had one person in office with you. It was you and one person in office. Everybody else is virtual. You have a great, amazing virtual connected community. But if you and one person are sitting together, it's so much easier for you to look to him and him just to look to you to ask questions when there's someone else who they should be asking. So my staff did that yesterday. One of my employees was like, hey, can you help me with this? And, normal me, yeah, cool. I said, no, I can't. Actually, there's someone downstairs who that's their entire job. They're going to do it better, more thoroughly, and explain it better than me. So you need to go downstairs and ask the right person for help. But sometimes ChatGPT can be the right person for help. I was trying to set up a new camera. I know nothing about that stuff. I throw in the model of the camera, the model of my laptop. Can you help me connect this so that I can use it with Riverside? Like, be specific. I didn't go waste someone's entire day who probably is going to have to stumble their way through it. I think it is creating a space where anyone who is in a work environment that comes to you first and has not at least tried ChatGPT, they're a lazy individual and they probably aren't going to last in your organization. That's the power of ChatGPT.
It's leveraging this technology. And recently we've been adopting it to make our programmers more efficient as well. So there are we use this tool called Cursor, which is a coding tool, and it's got ChatGPT kind of baked in there. And it even has something called AI agents, which 2025, you're going to hear all about AI agents. Everyone's going to be talking about them, I guarantee.
It's the first place you heard it. BBD, baby.
maybe not, but this is the thing. You ask the AI agent. So ChatGPT, I say, what's the answer for this, right? I've got this new camera. How do I set it up? AI agents, you say your task is to research all the properties in Kentucky, analyze average price, see if the trends are going up and down. And rather than just coming back to you, it goes, okay, what do I need to do to complete this task? And essentially it sets its own goals, which is hilarious because we're talking about that as part of this episode. And it says, until I hit all these goals, then I come back to Andrew with the answer.
Yeah.
The first thing it goes is, I need to go onto Zillow and I need to look at properties that are in the area. So then it goes, okay, I'm going to send off one of my AI agents to go and have a look on Zillow and get all this data. I've got all the data back now. Then start analyzing the trends, and it can look at the images, it can look at the property descriptions, it can look at the prices, it can look at who's selling them, and it can start to pick up those trends. And then it will go, okay, Andrew has asked me to put this all in a Google Doc for it. I need to open up Google Docs, put all this information in there. Then I come back to you and say, that took me 5-10 minutes to get all that information, but I've just done what you might have hired someone to do or got someone in your team to do. And it would have taken them hours, 2 hours. It might have taken them the whole day.
Days, and depending on the employee, a week. I think it's a lot of initiative. So what is that specific site? Because that's really interesting.
So this tool is called Cursor, but you're going to see this. Cursor is the name of the tool. This is all for coding. This isn't for doing those sort of tasks, but a company called Anthropic are releasing something called computer control or mouse control. And essentially, I've been playing with this all over Christmas.
Is that like Claude that you were using before?
Claude.
Okay.
Yes, but this one controls your computer. So I was playing with this over Christmas, and I go into my computer and I say, order me a pizza, right? And it takes control of my computer. It opens the browser. It searches for Uber Eats. It goes onto there. It goes search for pizza. And my specification was like, order anything under £20. And it found pizza. It checked that it was under the criteria, which was £20, and it ordered the pizza. This stuff is very early stages, but it is only going to get better as we go forward. And I've been looking at ways that we can leverage it at Auto Enhance. There's this whole Reddit scraper and everything.
Wait, this is not business oriented at all, but I'm so sorry, but I have to say this because it just came to mind. Like, imagine because this is going to sound so dumb, Jamie, but just bear with me. Just bear with me. So at nighttime, I have this guilty pleasure of pulling up like Shopbop or Saks and just looking at clothes because I never have time to shop in person or online. So instead of me reading a page a night, I just scroll through the top stuff and I'll heart a few things, like a few things, throw it away, and like put the phone away. And then I do that. And my brother's wedding is coming up, so I keep looking for like dress. I just can't find it. So imagine if I could say, Claude, I really need a red dress for a wedding. These are my sizes. Order me 5 dresses under $500 each. Like, that's insane. That would save me so much time.
That's what's coming. Right? That's
how amazing.
This is. We've been building applications for the AI to use, right? We've been building, like we're doing photo editing that the AI can use. But in this world, an AI agent could be controlling photo editing software that's built for us. That is what this is unlocking. And it's able to control the browser and do things like that. There's a tool called Do Browser, which is the only kind of one that I know that is out there that could do exactly what you want. But what I find really interesting, what I find really interesting is these AIs that will gather more context. So this tool that I'm building to scrape Reddit, what I'm actually doing is it's collecting all this information from Reddit. Then I'm telling it the sort of information that I want it to learn and gain from. And it's generating Reddit posts that it's putting back into Reddit. And it's learning from the response from people responding to that Reddit post that it generated. And it's building more and more knowledge about the community.
That's Open Jamie AI.
The AI is doing the work. The AI is doing the work. I'm just guiding it and pointing it in the right direction. But anyway, there's loads of exciting stuff about AI. I'm sure we're going to dive into it in the future. The one thing I'm really keen to do, this is why I was asking how often you use ChatGPT. ChatGPT has a memory function. So as you use ChatGPT, it starts to pick up on things that you've spoken to it about, what you're working on. I'm not sure how safe it is. I'm pretty certain this is being shared with OpenAI and they're learning from it, but whatever. So you can actually ask ChatGPT. So here's the prompt that I gave it. Based on everything you know about me, what are 5 areas I should focus on improving in the next year? Right. What? So I've already done this. So you type this in whilst I read mine.
All right, let me go to my Culture Enterprise one. Yeah, you tell yours.
ChatGPT is not perfect because I asked it for 5 and it's come back with 6. So go figure.
Well, that means you've got a lot to work on.
So number 1, business operations and scaling. Streamline workflows using Asana or other tools to improve team efficiency. Identify opportunities to expand the customer base or enter new markets. Refine auto-enhances product features to ensure alignment with customer needs. Number 2, AI innovation and application. Enhance algorithms for a number of different things. Develop and benchmark user-friendly AI features. Explore new AI applications for real estate imagery or adjacent industries. Number 3, exploring new creative ventures. Experiment with PhotoWow, which was a crazy idea I had a few weeks ago. Showcase the potential of AI in real estate photography through innovative projects. Create engaging content to connect with your audience and grow your brand. Personal brand and thought leadership. Leverage public speaking events opportunities to share insights and position yourself as a leader. Expand your podcast reach and collaborate with industry experts or influencers. Build awareness for auto-enhance through leadership content. Fitness and mental resilience. Prepare for events like Hyrox. It knows I'm doing a Hyrox. With structured training and recovery plans. Incorporate mindfulness or other mental wellness practices for better focus. Set and achieve personal fitness goals for sustained motivation. 6, personal development. Deepen your Chinese language skills to connect more with Sarah. And for self-growth, plan meaningful travel experiences like your potential trip to Toronto, which I'm planning to go to in April. It knows about that.
That's amazing.
Spend quality time with family and friends to strengthen relationships. So it's just drawn this from the conversations. It's crazy.
That's
what about
fantastic.
Yours?
So I have 2 different chats. One is just the OpenAI and the other is the Culture Enterprise, which is mainly business. So when I asked that one, it was pretty much just business oriented. But so I went ahead and just did it in the open chat because I asked that more kind of just a little bit of everything.
Open questions.
Yeah. So let's see what it says. It says streamline communication and coordination, enhance internal and external communication to ensure clarity and efficiency. For example, you could adapt advanced tools for scheduling, team coordination, and client management. Suggestion, implement automated reminders for team meetings, follow-ups, and client updates, leveraging platforms like, it even gives me examples, Google Workspace or ManyChat, because I use Google Workspace and ManyChat. Marketing, while you have strong marketing presence, newsletters, social media events, so it even knows like the things we do, expanding into new digital marketing strategies can further boost your brand visibility. Explore advanced digital advertising tools such as Meta ads or Google ads, which I don't use either of those, and expand content types to include behind the scenes videos or client testimonials to showcase your expertise. Mine is very much business oriented, but another leadership development and team growth. While your team has made impressive achievements, thank you, ChatGPT, investing further in their development can ensure sustained success. Offer tailored professional development opportunities such as workshops on negotiation skills, tech use, industry needs. Encourage agents to specialize in niches like luxury homes or international clients to broaden your firm's expertise. Each of these leverage your existing strengths while addressing potential gaps to elevate your business and personal impact even further. So that's amazing.
Fascinating, isn't it? And that's just, anyone that's struggling to set their goals. Okay.
Opportunity. I haven't used these apps. So your business involves multiple complex transactions and projects, which require precise oversight and management. Enhance the process with advanced project management tools like Asana or Monday.com to track timelines, milestones, and responsibilities across your team. So it's even giving us like apps we're not using. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I think anyone that's struggling to set their goals and they engage with ChatGPT a lot, try that out and you might find something that will help you set some goals and you can go from there. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot, but
yes,
yeah, I think this has been amazing. Hopefully everyone has learned a little bit about setting some good goals. What is a good goal?
Yeah.
How you can incorporate your DISC assessment. Remember episode 11 if you need to rewatch that.
Episode 11.
And then using ChatGPT to really make that goal work, or even
ChatGPT helps you live a better life.
Hashtag not sponsored. But there we go. Happy New Year, guys. Plenty of BBD to come. So,
yes.
Keep watching, keep liking, comment, get in touch. All the good stuff.
Keep getting your dose of BBD. I love it.
There we go. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you next time.